Hi, do you want to level up your on-page SEO strategy? If so, you are in the right place. My name is Tosh, and I'm going to give you some tips and tricks to really improve your on-page SEO. So without further ado, let's just get right into the nitty-gritty. So first off, it's really important for you to know what on-page SEO actually is. On-page SEO helps you improve the quality and content within your website in order for you to really rank on Google. On-page SEO is just one important piece of the puzzle. You need to know, as a blogger, Google Search Console is a free analytic tool that is offered to you by Google themselves, and you can sign up and add your website, and this pretty much helps you keep track of your website analytics and your metrics, so you can really monitor how your website is doing overall. Or if you want to keep track of specific URLs and how they're doing, you can also do that with this tool. So if you are a blogger, you need to have Google Search Console. If you don't, after this video, not right now, don't click out, but after this video, go sign up. Hi, so I'm interrupting scheduled programming because I really want to explain why Google Search Console is important and why you need it. I didn't really explain that in the video, so I'm gonna add this in right here. So Google Search Console is really important when it comes to on-page SEO because not only does it monitor and help you keep track of your overall ranking on Google, but it also helps you keep track and measure individual URLs in their rankings as well. And this can really help you see if the on-page SEO strategy that you're implementing is actually working. Or if you need to change a few things around, you can do that just by paying attention and really checking your Google console. So that is why it's important. So that's why I'm stressing so much that every blogger should have it. So we can get back to regularly scheduled programming. So when setting up Google Search Console, just want to go to your browser and enter Google Search Console in the search bar, and then click on this first option right here, then click Start Now, and then you can either copy paste your domain name into this field right here, the URL prefix, or you can just type it in like I'm doing. I'm sure copy paste is faster, but I'm not in a rush, so I just chose to type it in. Okay, so instead of using the HTML file option, just scroll down, and we're actually going to use the HTML tag. So just click on the arrow, copy to clipboard, so it should be copied. Then you want to go to your WordPress homepage and go to plugins, add new, and then search, insert, headers, and footers, and just click enter, or then this first option right here, WP code, insert headers and footers, you're going to need to install that and then activate it. And then once that's done, I don't have to do that because I already have it, but once that is done, just want to scroll to the left hand side of the WordPress homepage and find the same plugin you just installed. So WP code is this one right here, code snippets, and click header and footer, and then you are just going to want to paste what you copied and paste it into the header section, save changes, then go back and then click done, and then re-enter your domain into the same field. Hit continue, and it's checking your verification. And then you just click go to property, and you are all set up. It's as simple and as easy as that. So the next thing is, in order to really level up your on-page SEO, your site is going to have to be crawlable and it's going to have to be indexed by the Google bots. So, and if you don't know what crawling and indexing mean, don't worry, I will explain that to you. So crawling is pretty much making sure and having a discoverable website where Google can really analyze and go through your content and your pages within your website. So it's pretty much like a scanner in a way, except for they're actually Google bots. So in order for your website to be indexed, it has to be crawled first. And once your website is crawled, it is then indexed. An index pretty much just means that your website is going to be organized and categorized. And Google's really going to get an idea of what your website is about and the content within your website. And this is going to help you rank within the Google search engine. So these two steps are highly important, as you can see. So it's really important to make sure that your website is crawlable and that it is getting indexed. And if you have Google Search Console, this can help you with that. And that's the whole point of having Google Search Console, is so you can upload those URLs and really keep track of if your website is ranking or not. And it's really important to state that just because Google Search Console says the link or URL that you put in is indexed, that does not mean that it's going to rank in the search engine and on the pages of Google. So you really have to keep that in mind. And if this happens to you, this is probably an issue that has to do with either the technical side of your website, but more likely it's because the content that you produced just isn't up to par with Google standards. So you really have to go back and really revise some things and up your level of greatness with your content to solve this issue. And it could be any issue, so it's not just one thing that your website could be missing. So in order for your website to get actually ranked on Google after it's indexed, is you have to pretty much be producing high quality content. And that's just what it is. So what qualifies as high quality content? Well, you're in luck, because I'm going to explain that to you. First off, you want to make sure that the basic editing is being done to your content. So making sure that spelling and grammar are correct and on point with your content. And if it's not, this can really affect your bounce rates and people staying on your website. So it's really important to have good grammar, spelling, punctuation, all of that. And one thing I really stress is when you are creating content, make sure your content is actually valid and reliable and credible information, because you don't want to have incorrect information floating out there that can be really bad for your trustworthiness as a blogger, and it can affect your authority and ranking on Google, and we don't want that. So, and it's pretty much an ethical and moral thing too. So you really want to make sure that you're doing your research and making sure that the information that you're providing people is the right information, and that it's really going to help people. Don't just do it for money and to get monetized, you know? Don't just put anything out there. So I cannot stress this enough, and it's probably one of the most important aspects of creating high quality content, is that your readers and your viewers are seeing results with the information that you provide. Because if they are, they're going to keep coming back for more, and they're really going to trust you, and you're really going to be able to build that relationship. So just keep that in mind. And another thing that goes into writing high quality content is make sure you are not keyword stuffing. Google has a specific update to really monitor and really make sure people aren't doing this. And it goes against the Google guidelines. Do not keyword stuff. And keyword stuffing is where you just include the keyword like multiple times, but you're overdoing it. And this may seem like a good idea, but it's not, and it's just gonna lessen the quality of your content. So keep that in mind. And you also want to have click-worthy titles for your articles. And when I say this, I do not mean clickbait. Don't do clickbait. X that out. That will not level up your content. If anything, if somebody clicks on your content because they think it's about one thing, and then they get to your page and they see it's about something completely different, or it's not being completely transparent, they are going to click out, and they're probably not going to come back to your website. And that's just not a good look for you at all. So I would highly not recommend doing that. That's not what you want. So I would just say, when it comes to creating click-worthy headlines, just make sure that your headline stands out, and really make sure that you're being transparent about what your article and the information that you're going to be providing is about. And you also want to make sure that the keyword is in your title. In addition to writing high quality content, another important aspect are your images. Images are pretty much what wrap up your content and make it become whole, or at least that's how it is in my opinion. So it's really important that your images are meeting the Google guidelines. So this means making sure that your images are the correct size and dimensions. And you also want to upload every image with a title and an alt title. So you want both of those every single time with every image that you have in your content. And this step you should not skip, because this also helps Google rank your articles and your content in their search engine. So when you write the alt titles and image titles, it's important that you have the keywords within the alt title and the title. And you do not want to keyword stuff in this instance either, because like I said, it goes against Google guidelines, and Google can read your images. So I would not recommend that. Don't do that. So my next tip is update and revise old posts. And I really wanted to add this in there because people get so distracted about being steps ahead and thinking about the future and content they're going to post in the future, that they forget about the content that they already posted in the past. And if your content, when you're first starting out, let's just be honest, your content isn't going to be great. Like, unless you're like a super expert and you've been at this for a while and you have other experience and experiences with this, it's not going to be that great if you're just starting out from scratch. So it's important that as you learn more information and that as you develop your skills and expertise, that you go back and you update old posts. Because if your old posts are not up to par, they can bring your whole website down in Google search, and this is not good. So it also affects something called your domain authority, which is something that Google really takes into account as well. So you really want to not only focus on future posts and things like that, but past posts as well. And I would just like carve out a time where you sit down and, go through old posts one by one and really make sure that the old posts are really providing high quality and top-notch information. You know what I mean? So I do not skip this step. This is also a very essential step in order for you to really level up your on-page SEO. And that's why you're here, right? This is what this is all about. That is it. Thank you so much for watching my video. And if you don't know what SEO is and you need a little more explanation, my video explaining SEO as a whole is going to be linked at the end of this video. So watch that. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you next week. Bye.